Hey guys, what is up? MegaGamer here, and this is another gaming news story that I kind of wanted to talk about because number one, it's Australian related, so it kind of does affect me in a bad way. So for other poor Australians out there who have to deal with this kind of crap all the time, it sucks. So I like to talk about it, kind of spread around awareness for that for people who don't know, which I'm sure a lot of people do. But regardless, and there is some interesting stuff to talk about in adjacent to the typical stuff that I'm always going to rant about whenever something like this happens. But anyway, let's just get right into the story. So Hotline Miami 2, which is the sequel to the seriously awesome first Hotline Miami, which I got on my Vita and PS4, but you can also get it on Steam and PC as well. It's a fantastic game. I recommend it. It's so good. The soundtrack's awesome. It's this really fast-paced, kind of old 8-bit stylish kind of game, but it's hard to explain. You just gotta look at it. It's so awesome and buy it because it's fantastic. However, the second one is very, very close to release. It's meant to be coming out around this quarter, around this time, and its imminent release is obvious by the fact that the ratings are coming in for the game. And unfortunately for us Australians, the rating there is no rating for the game. It was refused classification and is effectively banned in this country, just like a bunch of other games. Now, what most companies do is they just kind of cut out those little slices so that the game can be sold in a censored version over here in Australia, which is bullshit. We've got a censored version of South Park: The Stick of Truth. We've got a censored version of Saints Row 4, even though I want to get the remake, the re-release for PS4, which I believe is like 60 FPS or whatever. And they might have got away with throwing that censored stuff back in, because I believe something like that happened with GTA 4, where it was refused classification because of some, I don't know, sex, prostitute-related incidents, and they brought it back via a patch, which is very cheeky of them, but it was awesome. But regardless, it's happened to a lot of games in Australia, even since we got an R18 plus rating. So we got an adults-only rating 2 years ago this month, and we're still getting games banned on a consistent rate. This is happening all the time. It's just ridiculous. It really is. Like, why are these games still being banned? I don't get it. I can't stand it. It's stupid. But regardless, the game, it's going to be effectively banned here, and unlike what other studios do, which I said earlier, they just kind of cut tiny little slices out so it can be sold here. It doesn't look like the developers are going to into doing that this time, because they want to keep their creative they want to keep their creative freedom, and they're like, we want this in the game. We're not going to get rid of it just so we can sell it over here. That's not what they want to do, and I understand where they're coming from at a point. However, I do have to ask, the reason they banned the game, assumingly, and it's pretty obvious that this is kind of why, is that, and they showed it off ages ago as well, the scene where there's kind of like there's a suggestive rape scene at the start of the game, and then it kind of like zooms out or whatever, and then it turns out to be like they're shooting a movie or something like that. And you got to take it in the context as well, because like I said, it's like a top-down view. It's very 8-bitish, kind of like old-style pixelated kind of gameplay. You can barely see what's going on, and the thing is, that video is out. That video is out there. People have been able to see it on the internet for over a year now. So, I don't know why they're banning it because of that scene, because it's like it's suggestive of rape, I guess, but it's like you don't really see anything. I mean, it's hard to even tell what's going on. Like they say in the description, he pulls his pants down, he begins thrusting, and you can see his butt or whatever. But it's like you watch the video, it's like it's so pixelated, you can't even tell what's happening half the time. It's like you can't tell if that's his ass or not. Like, oh, what's happening? What's this? It's just, yeah, it's super. And in context, it's like that's really worth a ban, like adults only content, and you still can't release this, which is just ridiculous, And I'm complaining now. It's like, what about in 5 months when I turn 18? I'm gonna be even more pissed off then, because I'm gonna get the game regardless if I'm 18 or not. Who cares? But once I am legally allowed to, and I'm still not allowed to see that, it's just ridiculous at this point. What are they trying to shield us from? This thing's been online for over a year. Anyone can go online and look at it. Why are you trying to ban the product where it's actually what you're doing is actually reserving that content for a specific target audience. With the internet, you can just go on YouTube and look at the scene. Doesn't matter how old you are. There is no proper way to actually, no legal way to actually enforce some sort of age restriction. But when there is an age restriction, you just ban it for everyone because, I don't know, you got your panties in a bunch or whatever. It's sad, really. But anyway, that's a reality, and again, it doesn't look like the developers are going to change that. But as I was going to say before, I got a little sidetracked or whatever. But what I was going to say is, I don't know why the developers can't get rid of the scene, because when you start the game up, it actually says, it gives you a warning, kind of like in Modern Warfare 2 with that airport scene, gives you a warning and gives you the option to skip the scene if you feel you're going to be offended by it. So it's like, if they've got that option, there's already a demographic out there who's going to buy this game and not see that scene because they're going to choose to skip it. So is it really that bad to cut the scene out altogether when you've already got an option to skip it in the game anyway? Just so you can actually release the game in this country so more people can play it and you guys will make more money out of it? I don't see the big deal. I don't know why you're going to leave it in there and then none of us can get the game. Which I think is a little stupid, but again, I think the whole thing's stupid. But regardless, the developers had something to say about this. The most interesting response was to an Australian fan who basically asked, how should I go about getting this game? Should I import it and then wire you some money in addition to that, or should I do this or this? Because I don't want to, I don't want to pirate it or whatever. And the developer said, screw it, pirate it. The developers encouraged Australians, saying if there's no legal way of getting the game, then just pirate it and play it and enjoy it. No need to send the money. That's literally what they said. And I'll have links to articles in the description so you can look at the actual quotes and whatnot. But that is what they said. They suggested if you can't get the game legally, just pirate it and enjoy it. Don't worry about sending us money or anything. As long as you're enjoying the game, that's fine. Which, that is an awesome response. Like, that's a fuck yeah, way to go response. And it's a win-win for everyone, because look at it this way. There is no illegal way to get the game over here. So, politicians and shit, or whoever, they can complain about piracy all they goddamn well want to. But when something's banned over here, of course we're going to pirate it. And we've got the developers blessing to. Like, shit. Plus, they're not going to make any money off of us, so all that's going to happen is they're going to let people pirate the game so that more people actually play and enjoy the game, and then that that company gets recognition. It might even lead to more sales on their next game that comes out because more people would have played it and already enjoyed and theoretically love the game, and thus they want to know more about the developers. Maybe even go back and buy the first one at a price, and it's just more notoriety, it's more recognition for the studio. Which, yeah, it's a good thing. And then, again, you're giving people blessing to pirate the game. I mean, hell, I heard these are the same people who actually went on a torrent of their own game and actually helped people fix the torrent so it would work for them. They didn't try and take the torrent down and say, you should pay for this. They didn't just say, well, if it's stuffed, then that's your fault, for trying to pirate it. They actually helped fix the pirate copy so people could enjoy it properly. Which is ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Like, what developer does that? That's just great. So, in comparison to that, this doesn't seem as big of a, that's a weird situation. The developer's telling you to pirate the game. It's like, okay, they want me to pirate it because I can't get it any other way. That's fine. Like, that makes sense. The other thing where they help people make the pirate version work, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know why they did that, but hell, they're awesome like that, I guess. They just want people to play the game. They don't give a shit about the money, I guess. Which is, that's always a nice attitude to see in a developer or a company or anything, really. So it's always nice to see that. But, I mean, that's really it for the story. That's the fact. The developers, they want you to pirate it. I'm not really completely sad. I mean, it's a good answer, but I'm not satisfied with what they said because that really only works for PC. Like, I can get the game on PC, I'll pirate it, whatnot. But I want to get it on my PlayStation. I want to get it on my PlayStation Vita. I want to get it from my PS4. And you can't really do that. You can't really pirate those versions in Australian copies. The only way around is make an American account on my PS4 or whatever, and then just kind of buy it through that account, and then I can play it through my account because it's already on that PS4. And even then, it might be a bit of a pain in the ass compared to PS3 because I haven't really done that on PS4 before. The only time I ever did something like that was I got a code for like a Beyond Two Souls demo like 3 weeks before the game came out. But it was I could only use it with a US account, so I made a US account on my PS3, downloaded the demo, just played it through my normal account. That's the only time I've ever done anything like that, and I might have to do that again for Hotline Miami 2, if that's the case, because at this rate, it's definitely not going to come out here. I doubt they're going to change their minds, and I doubt the developers are going to get rid of the scene. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm kind of disappointed, but if I really want to play the game, I'll just pirate it. You know, that's just what I'll do. I'll just play it on my PC. And also be well with the world. But again, dialing back to the core of this bullshit, the Australian Classification Board, get your fucking shit together. How long has this country fought for an R-rated, an R rating? And what you just spit in their faces by fucking banning more and more and more shit. And you got stupid rules. Stuff like, oh, if there's a drug in the game that's named after a real drug that gives the player a positive effect, or the character a positive effect, it's immediately banned. That is fucking stupid. That is really fucking stupid. And then they've got this other shit as well. Like, this scene which you can go online and look, yes, it's suggestive of rape, but in context, it's barely noticeable. The context isn't, the actual act doesn't look as bad as the ACB are stressing. And again, in the context, it's actually not happening because they're just shooting a film and they stop at that point. He doesn't actually rape her. It's suggestive rape and it looks like he's goner, but nothing ever happens. So, you know, like I said, the core of this crap is the ACB. They need to get their shit together. They need to stop banning every fucking game under the sun because this is ridiculous. How many movies have they banned over here? This is the thing. Like, you know what I felt? I felt really uncomfortable watching the scene in Kick-Ass 2 where the big Russian chick, she basically kills like several cops in extremely graphic ways. I felt really uncomfortable watching that as opposed to pretty much anything else I've ever played in a game. But no, that's completely fine. That's an MA, 15 plus movie. That's completely fine. No question. No one's going to say anything about that. But if a game did anything close to that standard, it will get shit on by everyone. I hate this double standard for games, and I hate the fucking ACB for being this smart. Oh. I'm going to stop before I go into a rant, but that's just that. And it's bullshit. They really need to fix this. They really need to stop this. So, thanks for watching. I'm MegaGamer, and yeah, see ya.